Hello everyone, welcome back to another Mario Baseball video. Today I'm going to be reacting to Krazie's Any% world record. This was a record he set in the mushroom level Any% category, which is the most competitive Mario Baseball speedrun. And the previous record by Matty Ice stood for over 600 days. So this is an incredible achievement by him, and I had promised him that I would make a reaction video on the channel when he eventually broke the record. So here we are, let's get into it. I'm going to be going through some of the techniques that he used, from my understanding, as a somewhat of a speedrun, intermediate level speedrunner. So right here, that's one of the first things that you'll notice. You saw him go to Wario, and then you hold R and you move over to the Yoshi's team, which allows you to be Yoshi captain, but also, as you can see there at the bottom, have all of the Wario members on your team as well. It's a little glitch that was only discovered maybe 2-3 years ago, I remember reading on the speedrun forums. So it's the way to do the speedrun, because you get all of these Mages on your team, which are great star swingers, and you see quick menuing there by Krazie, and then you also see him put Petey there at pitcher. Now this is done because Petey's curveball speed is one of the fastest in the game, if not tied for the fastest. I believe it is at around 130 stat points. So that means the ball from the pitcher is going to get to the computer just quicker. That's going to save time after each pitch that gets thrown. And then also you want to make sure you get those pitches in quick succession. So there's a little animation between the pitches, and Petey's is around where you can get the Mario pitcher glitch as well, which is not featured in this speed run, but is a way to animation skip with Mario on a pitch. So the general strategy each game is going to be get 10 runs in the top of the inning, and then give up no runs in the bottom. So you see there, that was a little bit of a bunt glitch where you're allowed to kind of cheat the computer into getting a free extra runner on base. And there's the first mistake of the run. The runner is out at home plate, unfortunately. The laser there was able to get Yoshi, but you get 3 outs to work with. You're gonna have to get 3 outs, so an out there isn't like too big of a time loss, or even a time loss at all. And so another thing you're noticing, we see Krazie right here going for bunts. The reason you're doing that is because if you swing and you get a hit and that scores a run, that's an RBI for the batter, you're going to get an RBI cutscene for the batter on the immediately after the play is over. The game will cut and they'll show the batter on their base doing a little fist pump to the air or something. But when you're bunting, you actually don't get that RBI cutscene, because it considers it a fielder's choice. Now you see here Krazie slapping with Petey. That is because once you get that 5th run, the game no longer will show those RBI animations as like a rubber banding kind of thing, where it's like, well, we don't need to rub it in the face of the person who's down by 5 runs to show them that they gave up a run or whatever, or for whatever reason. That's just my interpretation of it. So now it's just slap and get as many runs as quick as possible. Waluigi there has his captain star swing, which means it's a line drive star hit like the Mages. So very useful there. Another reason why the Wario team is so good in this game mode, because not only do the Mages have that star swing, but Waluigi does as well, and a long bat there in that as well. So now you're looking to score these 2 runs. You pull the hit there with Madge. Not too big of a deal because it gets through. Typically you're looking to push it if you're Krazie, but you also see Waluigi get held there at third. It's because it's just a little bit quicker on the time save with the animations than running home, having a close plate to plate, things like that, because you're going to need 2 outs anyway afterwards. So don't need to spend extra time getting that runner home just to run yourself out there. And you see Krazie had a pretty good job at getting those batters out. Right there with that Madge catch, that's huge. Madge, a slow outfielder, not a good outfielder at all, but with all these Madges, you got to put them somewhere. You see Yoshi and Birdo in the middle infield going to get any slap hits that go near them, but anything in the gap in the outfield could be very problematic with this the fielding layout. So it's huge for Madge to get that catch, big time save. As you'll see in the end of the speed run, it comes down to the wire, so every second saved throughout this entire process ended up being huge, and that Madge catch right there could have been the difference in the speed run. So Krazie gets out of there. He's 15 seconds ahead of his split, which is pretty good. Great start. you know, watching some of these speed runs, the runs you get out of Mario's, you get to Peach's, that's where it starts to get tough. Peach's, DK, it's just a gauntlet. There's so many stages to get through, and you have to get 10 runs in the first inning every single time. You can't afford any mistakes. That first game was pretty clean, only that one Yoshi out. But as we'll see throughout the rest of this run, it gets a little dicey in some of these stadiums. So here we're going into Peach's. Basically the same strategy all 5 games you're going to play. You just got to get the first runner on base. That's another thing. Yoshi and Birdo do not have their captain star swings, which makes them difficult batters to get on base compared to Madge's, Waluigi's. And you see there the steal. That's actually caught by Toad. The contact on that Waluigi star swing was way too good, and it goes right to Toad. That's a major hit there, and it could have ended this run because you have no runs and you're already at your first out. You see the strategy here. We're stopping at third, first and third, and now you can do the bunt. You steal with the runner from first to second, you bunt, and the CPU will throw home in this situation. You can just turn your runner around if you are going to be out, but since Yoshi's safe, you just keep running Yoshi and Yoshi with that speed to beat the throw home. And then like last time, we're bunting here to get on base and also to avoid those RBI cutscenes. Gonna keep the Madge train rolling. Steals. We're actually star swinging here. I'm not actually sure why, unless Krasy was just scared that Yellow Madge might not have the speed with the chem in this infield. I think that's a factor that has to be put into play here. But you saw the animation there. You get a replay and an RBI cutscene. So now you're at 2 outs with 3 runs scored. This has got to be perfect play from here on out. You can't do bunting as much anymore because they'll just take the force out, so you can't glitch them into like throwing home and running back. You gotta be safe at every spot here. And see runners get first to third. This is where you would normally bunt, but since there's 2 outs, you can't actually do it. So you're just gonna see Krasy here go for slaps. You gotta land them all now. And you see a Yoshi swing and miss. That's another thing about the speedrun is not only the bunts have to be nice contact as well as the hits, because if you sour bunts as you saw with the Boo, that one just popped straight in the air. It was an easy catch. It's super risky once you get those pop-up bunts or those sour contact bunts. So Krasy has rallied here, kept the inning alive. He's got 1 star to work with, and gonna spend it here. No reason to hold on to it. Red Madge, Blue Madge, pretty much the same. Put yourself in a great position here if you can get this Madge slap down to score those next 2 runs and escape here with kind of a stolen victory. You were down you had 2 outs against you with only 3 runs scored, and now you're able to get out of it. A foul ball there by Red Madge, but you're going to see Krasy land this hit. Time it up well. Nice contact there, and survives. Very close to the speedrun ending here in the second inning. You see him hold off there, so they throw out. That's the fastest way to get a tag out. And Krasy, a minute left ahead of his split to get out of this Peach's Castle here. Just got to play good defense here. You're trying to get them to swing and miss, or to swing and hit the ball and send it to the fielders, but you do run the risk if they send it and put it in a gap of letting them on base. So it's a little bit of a trade-off, but the fastest route is, of course, to get them to swing and hit the ball. And you see Yoshi there making an incredible play, showing why he's out there in the field. No other player, except maybe Birdo, makes that play. And so saves the runner getting on base. Would have needed to maybe turn a double play if you don't catch that ball with Yoshi, and then you get the strikeout there with Petey. Ends the game. Split comes out ahead of time. So we're done with Peaches. On to DK's. There's no stops at any of the shops or the mini games or anything like that. You just gotta beat the any percent category. You just gotta beat Bowser, and to beat Bowser, you have to beat these 5 teams out here, or these 4 other teams: the Peach, DK, Wario, and Mario. If you're starting with Yoshi Captain, and then beat those, and then you unlock Bowser. And then by unlocking Bowser and beating him, you complete the game in the any percent category. So here at DK's, again, same strategy. DK pitcher maybe throws a little bit of wrench with that sidearm. Not too bad, though. Another thing to watch out for is these barrels. If you're playing as the batters, you really don't want the CPU getting hit by those barrels because it's such a time loss for them to recover, and you're not gaining a lot by taking an extra base or two. So you see the setup here. We're just going to bunt this run in or send it back, whichever works out better. You see we'll just bunt it in. Three stars to work with here. See one get used. Paragoomba not getting hit by the barrel there. Because if Paragoomba gets hit by the barrel and then you send Waluigi, that's an RBI cutscene plus all that time that gets spent rolling around on the ground. But now you see back to the bunts. And this is because, like I mentioned the whole time, this is about the most optimal way to save time. And any replays or cutscenes are going to cost time. And there you see Kraszy getting very lucky. That bunt straight back to the pitcher, but the computer decides to try and field it with the catcher. A little bit of a glitch bunt there allows the runner at home to be safe, and no outs still here. You see the fifth run getting scored here by the bunt. Bunting with Birdo instead of slapping. You'll see a slap here from PD. PD's bunt is pretty bad. It's just super small contact zone, very easy to pop up. And you see the hit there, very bad. What is even a double play? That's a killer. Now you're at 2 outs with 6 runs. You saw Kraszy rally with 2 outs and 3 runs. But going to have to do it once again here. And that's kind of a theme throughout this run. You're going to see him rally from some pretty tough positions he gets put in. The Mario game didn't have too much. Peach game had a lot, 7 runs with 2 outs. Now you see him needing 4 runs with 2 outs. So you got 2 stars to work with. You're still feeling pretty comfortable with these 2 stars in the bank, knowing you can just rip a star hit like that. But we did see the star swing with Waluigi go straight to Purple Toad, and you see Kraszy taking extra bases there. This allows him to end the game right here with this 1 star swing because he can steal here, star swing. It luckily goes right over the head of DK. If you're playing a human player, that's caught, but these are the mushroom level CPUs. They're not going to jump for those, and it's just lucky that it's good enough contact to be over his head. If that's a little bit more sour, that would be lower to the ground most likely and possibly be caught by DK. So the contact quality on all of these hits is super important. As I mentioned, you don't want to be getting sours at all in this run. You see Diddy here not making contact. It's a little bit time lost there, but Diddy getting a strikeout. Luckily, Diddy at least not getting on base. Dixie here does throw a wrench into this run here because now she's on base. You want to turn to double play if possible, but you just need those 3 outs as fast as possible, and you're going to see the double play get made here. And then if you look here, you see this is a minute time save almost, 40 seconds on DK's here, or 40 not 40 seconds save, but 40 seconds ahead of his personal best split. So that's a massive time save, and if at this point, if you're Kraszy, you got to be thinking, man, I am on world record pace. Because his PB, 22:23, Matty Ice's world record, 21:42. He only needs to beat his PB by 40 seconds. He's right there at this, in the right speed to set world record. So, not making any lineup changes. You do have the option to make changes because you start winning when you mercy the opponent in challenge mode. You get all of their players on your team immediately. So you see him pick up a bunch of players, but sticking with the team he's got saves time in the menuing and everything. Now, Wario pitcher, pretty easy to hit against. One of the things that's going to be annoying is these tornadoes because it can send those balls. Like, that's an excellent leadoff hit, and it just goes foul. Wastes a bunch of time. But Yoshi's still making it onto base here. The first runner of this at-bat. You see Waluigi and Waluigi out in the field. Waluigi at-bat. And so that's kind of funny. Now the Wario team is pretty much playing the Wario team in vanilla Mario Baseball. That chain chomp there costing some extra time. You see Kraszy just holding because he doesn't want those animations or anything, the replay. The bunt here. Another thing at Wario is the stand does slow down the bunts. You see Kraszy go back. That Chem scared him off. PD probably threw it pretty soft. Yoshi was probably safe, but no reason to risk it when you can just bunt in like this. Get a bunt down the other line. But Madge actually getting out there on the bunt. The sand not enough to slow down that bunt and allow Madge to be safe. And then a star hit wasted here. This is a little bit scary. You're down to 2 stars. You already have 1 out. You're bunting here with Madge, but they're pretty slow. So you're lucky. You got to time your mashing correctly to where the CPU is going to throw home trying to get you. But then also you're safe. So you see there 2 excellent bunts. The CPU threw home both times because the Madges are very slow. That's one of the things with bunting with the Madges is pretty bad, is that they're so slow. It can take them a while to get to first base, and they're pretty easy to throw out if you're not fast enough. So you see Green Madge there sliding in safely in front of that chem throw, and then Birdo getting on base. You see PD slap here. That one luckily avoids the bird there, the tornado. So 5 runs have scored. You're looking to slap here. You're looking to just score runs in any way possible. So the bunt, that's another thing. The slap is an option, but the bunts are just as good because the CPU is pretty weak at fielding these bunts. So you can pretty much bunt with almost anyone, especially when Madge is on the corner with those weak arms. There, the chain chop coming out, but not really affecting the play too much. And now you got Madge up, looking to star swing, driving these last 2 runs. You recovered pretty well after that first early out. Not as big of a scare as the Peach Garden was, but it's still a little bit scary seeing that first out with only 1 run scored. And then you see there, the chain chomp luckily doesn't hit Madge because that, like I mentioned, every second matters. And that the chain chomp hitting Madge would have cost more time. You see there, Krasi tried to play it super optimally and pull a Madge hit right to Waluigi. It just barely skipped away from Waluigi, and so it did lose a little bit of time compared to if he just bunted himself out. But it would have saved a bunch of time if he, a few seconds, if he had been able to hit it right there to Waluigi where he caught it. You see Waluigi not swinging the bat there. It is frustrating. If you've seen my speedruns, I've done exhibition game speedruns where you're trying to get CPU to like hit the ball right at your fielders. It is frustrating when they won't swing the bat or they just swing and miss. But you see there, now he is a full minute ahead of his PB. It's a rainbow split. I think that means it is his best segment ever he's gotten to this point. And now he is 20 seconds ahead of world record pace. So he is just one game left to win. That is the Bowser game. Same strategy, although the Bowser team can get tricky if you start giving up runners on base because they have Bowser, they have the bros who can just nuke the ball. So you really got to get those first 3 outs right away. We've only seen Krasi allow 1 runner onto base, and that was in the DK game. But now he's going up against Bowser. You got those. You got to score these 10 runs and get out of here. Nerves are probably pumping. You see Krasi. This is his 872nd run at this category. It's up there in his splits. That's an insane amount of time he's put into this. I can't imagine what it's like going into this last game, knowing you are on a world record pace for this incredibly highly competitive category. This has 100 runs from 100 different people running this category. That is insane. I think the next highest category is around 30 or 40 players for Mario Superstar Baseball. So the competitiveness of this run is incredible. And like I mentioned, that run by Matty Ice stood for around over 600 days. That's how good of a record this was. So you see the game starts out incredibly well. All 3 runners on base, no outs. Gonna just star swing, not risk it there with a bunt. With the red Madge, super slow character. They have a lot of chem in the infield. So we're willing to take that RBI animation. And now you can do the bunt strategy where you send your runner back. But Krasi thought he was going to be safe at home and doesn't send Blue Madge back there. That's where things start to get a little risky because you do worry about running out of outs. But we've seen him rally back this entire run. So now he's at 1 out and 3 runs. That chem also puts in the back of your mind, hey, maybe I shouldn't be bunting here. Maybe I just need to slap or do something. But you see him go for the bunt once again. This time, Hammer Bro with a bit of a softer throw. Or, I mean, Fire Bro with a bit of a softer throw. And that run gets in safe. So now you are here with Birdo. 4 runs, no outs, or 1 out. And you're swinging away. Birdo is an incredibly hard bat to get on base with because that sour contact is so large. You got to be extra careful not to sour it there. And you see Krasi strike out the first and probably the biggest mistake he's made at the plate with his batter. The first strikeout you've seen, which is, I think it's actually even the first time you saw him get to 2 strikes in an account. And you see here him with Yoshi as well. He might be struggling reading these pitches, making sure to get the nice contact. And that's gotta be really scary. You get that first strike with Yoshi, you're like, oh no, I can't repeat the Birdo strikeout. You see with 2 outs now, he's been rallying back his whole run, and he's just got to land all of these slap hits in a row with 2 outs to clutch this world record. He's got the 1 star to work with. He's going to rip it here, and it's a great hit from Madge. And now you see runners on second and third. This is where you want that Madge star hit like he's done the previous runs and just be able to rip the star hit, score those last 2, get this last out, and be out of the inning with a pretty good time. But he doesn't have that star swing, so he's got to be stealing here and he's got to hope for a good hit. And unfortunately, this one goes foul. But the craziest play you'll ever see. He grabs the star pad, gets a star, and then rips a star hit for those 10 runs and runs red Madge out there. So it is now 10-0. Krasi has 40 seconds left to beat world record. He's got to get these 3 outs in those 40 seconds. You got to be praying for the CPU to swing the bat here. And that ball almost gets through, possibly could have ruined the run. But Yoshi there with an incredible play at second base for the first out. And then Blue Bones there hits it right to Yoshi. This is where the run gets really scary. You got Fire Bro who can rip a home run. Boo almost gets hit by that fireball, but dodges it there. That is the game. World record secured for Krasi. 21:29, the new time to beat. #1 in the world. And what a run. You saw him battle back this entire run. The Peaches had to get 6 runs with 2 outs. Here had to get, I think, 6 runs with 2 outs again. DK, 4 runs with 2 outs. Wario, he had to get 9 runs with 1 out. So just an incredible amount of persistence in this run. 872 attempts. Unbelievable amount of time put into this run. It's just an incredible feat for Krasi to achieve. Krasi, obviously a PJ and Friends esports member, so it's a team victory as well for the whole squad. Everyone was super happy when we heard he had set the record, and yeah, I heard he popped off pretty hard, but he didn't have his mic going, so that's sad we don't get to see his reaction. But an incredible run from Krasi. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you found my analysis entertaining and insightful to this run, and hopefully I didn't ramble too much and repeat myself too much, but it's an incredible run. There's a bunch of strategy that goes into it, as y'all saw, and there is still time to be saved. You could potentially clean up a few mistakes. Birdo striking out, time save right there, a couple foul balls here and there, and then another potential avenue for this record to be broken is the full bunt strategy. You gotta probably switch off of the team, the Wario team with the Madges, but if you start bunting with some speedier characters, maybe you can save some time there versus hits that go into the outfield, hit those chain chomps, hit all sorts of things out there. But yeah, congrats to Krasi once again, an incredible run. Thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned for more Mario Baseball content coming your way very soon.